Good morning. This is Mary Wallace, and I am with Schuler Bauer Real Estate Services. And you are listening in to Real Minutes with Mary, which is real people in real time with real information. And it's good to be back joining you again, since I haven't been on since Thanksgiving or a little bit before. But today, Tracy Patton with Tracy Patton Ministries is joining me. I thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And excited to share, or to have her share about Tracy Patton Ministries and reaching for immeasurably more. In other words, giving. As I said this morning, as I look into my closets and everyone is full of clothes and my pantry is full of food and my home is warm, I live in abundance, and I think the majority of us live in abundance. And so I know need really has no season, but this is a perfect time of the year for us to be thinking about how we can be giving immeasurably more. So Tracy, again, thank you.
Thank you.
And tell everybody a little bit about how and when Reach came to be.
Okay. Back in May of 2015, I was picking up my nephew from an elementary school in Scott County. And the counselor was handing out little bags of food to a group of students, about 20 of them, before they went home for the weekend. And I said, what's in the bag and what are you doing? And she said, well, this little bag of food gets these children through the weekend.
Wow.
And that broke my heart. So I went home and I thought about that. And so I went back to the school on Monday and I said, well, what happens to these kids during the summer when they can't get that little bag of food on Friday? And the counselor said, that's when we worry about these kids the most. And so I thought, I've got to do something about these kids in this one school. And so they were getting ready to let out for the summer in just a few weeks. So I took a flyer to that one school and I said, hand this to every kid in your food program. And it had my cell phone number on it. It said, call me if you need food. Wow. And I thought, I'll just buy it myself. And so it was a great success that first year with that first school. And I got a call the very next morning. A little voice, when I answered, said, yes, I'd like to order a cheese sandwich.
Wow.
And I got so tickled. And I said, you need food, don't you? And he said, I do. And so we started feeding that family. So since May of 2015, now we are in 10 different counties in Indiana and 2 counties in Kentucky. So we are growing at a rapid speed because there are just children everywhere that are really struggling for food. In fact, 6 out of 10 kids are hungry.
Wow.
And don't know when or if they'll get food.
Wow, 6 out of 10. Wow, those are not great odds.
Right.
Not great odds. So okay, well then I kind of understand where your inspiration came from. Mm-hmm. But again, my daughter Shannon, who is now volunteering for Reach,
yes.
She was so touched by your slogan, if I'm saying the word correctly, about reaching for immeasurably more. And so I don't just share a little bit about that gala event and and how you expressed how we can all reach for immeasurably more.
And I am a motivational speaker, so I go around to businesses and churches and sports teams, and it's about learning how to reach for immeasurably more in all of our lives. And so I always start, whenever I'm teaching, is for everybody in the audience or the classroom to raise their hand as high as they can, and they all do. And so I say, oh, but come on, you can do this, you can do it, reach even higher. And everyone in the class or the office then stretches and really does reach higher.
Wow.
And so the point is, we never reach as high as we really can the first time, even though I say reach as high as you can. If we can encourage and motivate people, we've all got a little bit more in us. We can give more at work. We can give more in our marriages. We can give more in the community. But our kids don't necessarily always get that encouragement and motivation. And so not only are we delivering food and school supplies and all these things, but we try to inspire them and encourage them that they can do better, that they can get a C instead of a D in school, that they can make that basketball team if they try hard enough. So it's reaching for more. That in turn turned into a Reach event, and we had our first fundraiser after almost 4 years of feeding kids. We had a fundraiser, and we inspired people to reach, into their cabinets or their closets and to donate, food and things that these kids actually need.
Wow. as you can tell, I get all choked up talking about this. So I just think this is absolutely wonderful. So how do you predominantly learn about a family in need or a child in need? Are they still calling to say I need a cheese sandwich, or is there a more formal process?
The majority of our referrals come from the school system. So
Okay.
counselors in each of the schools in these different counties know about us, and so they will call us or they will give the family our phone number.
Okay.
And it's still my cell phone number, and I still get calls. We feed people daily, and our turnaround rate is so amazing because we have about 50 volunteers.
Wow.
And so between the time we get the call and the family gets the food is usually within an hour or two. I mean, we are quick, and we deliver to the families. That's what makes us so unique. I mean, there are lots of food pantries and food programs, and they're all very needed. But ours is unique that we drive the food to them. They don't have to find transportation to get anywhere.
Wow. Yeah, and that's something often I don't even think of is, again, the transportation to get the needed supplies.
Right.
So are these families that you're helping, are they predominantly homeless or low income?
Actually, none of our families, we've helped 2 homeless families. We will help any, but the majority of our families are people that are in homes. And the majority are really trying their best to survive. At least one parent is usually working. They just can't meet all the needs. By the time they pay their electric bill and all those bills, the food is usually the last thing that they have money for. So they are trying.
That's I mean, again, it's a hand up and
yes,
not always a hand out.
A lot of our families that we serve also are grandparents who have all of a sudden inherited grandchildren, and they're on fixed incomes, and many of our grandparents don't drive, and those kinds of things.
Wow, lots of different dynamics to think about. And again, unless you're in that situation yourself, we just don't even think about it. We just don't even think about it. So Tracy Patton Ministries and the Reach Food Program. Okay, so Tracy Patton Ministries is it a federally delegated 501c3 nonprofit entity?
The first few years, I just kept feeding these children, and I thought, I'm going to need some help because it's getting out of my hands. So I applied for the 501c3, and we got it our first time because we had proven we had just fed so many families up until that time. So yes, all donations are tax deductible.
Awesome.
So the legal name is Tracy Patton Ministries. We get asked, are you a religious affiliated with anyone or a church? And we are not. The definition of ministry just means helping others. And so that's why we've called it Tracy Patton Ministries, because we help people do a lot of things. We help people get jobs. We help people get on food stamps. We help people find housing. So the ministry just means we help people. The Reach Food Program is the part where we're feeding kids and giving them school supplies, diapers, formula, those kinds of things.
Awesome. So what is the greatest need that you have? I'm sure this need is great on a monthly basis, but
it is.
This particular time of the year, what is your greatest need?
Like I said, we feed people daily. We feed over 100 children a week. So that means there's also usually other siblings in the house that maybe we don't even know about, and there's adults in the house. But that's just children only, over 100 a week. So food, we have food donation bins, and I think we're going to talk about that later, set up around the area. That food is definitely our main concern. But the monetary donations are just as important because, like I said, we're getting calls from the county Office of Family and Children and Healthy Families asking us to help families with diapers, with baby food and formula. And so those kinds of things we actually have to go buy. Also with our donations, they're non-perishable. So we get a lot of the macaroni and cheese and cereals and canned goods, but often our families need a gallon of milk and a loaf of bread. So when we have monetary donations, then we can actually stop at the grocery and buy the meats and cheeses and milk and things like that.
Awesome. So tell everybody about where they can actually drop off non-perishable
Okay,
items.
and I have a list here, so I'm going to look at it to make sure I don't forget all of them. We have donation spots in Clark County, Scott County, Floyd County, Morgan County, and Louisville, Kentucky. In Clark County, you can donate at New Beginnings Church, Big Hair Salon, Boom Boss, the home health care that Shannon works at.
Right, that's a Medicist. They're in the Quartermaster.
Davis Nursery in Country Market. That's on 10th Street.
On 10th Street.
So all those were located in Clark County. In Scott County, you can donate at Lisa's Dance Studio, at Tom Patton Auto Sales. In Floyd County, you can donate at Jacob's Chapel Methodist Church. In Louisville, we have a donation bin at Allen's Hair Salon. And in Morgan County, Cedar Creek Winery and the YMCA in Morgan County. So we are also looking for more people who would be willing to set out one of our food bins, maybe in your church or your business, where people can just throw in a can of green beans or a box of mac and cheese when they come to visit your church or your business. So we would love to hear from people that may have that kind of a location.
That's great. So again, if just restating, if your business or your church or your organization can come together here with Tracy Patton Ministries and help reach some children with some food, then give her a call. So how would they call you, or how would they reach out to you?
We have a website. It's www.tracypattonministries.com. On Facebook, we have a Facebook page, Tracy Patton Ministries, and our phone number is 812-595-0571. And by calling that number, you can refer a family that may need food. You can give that number to a family that may need food. You can call that number if you'd like to volunteer, and you can call that number if you'd like to set up a food bin.
That's great. You mentioned something that I didn't even touch on. What about volunteers? Maybe it's not food, maybe it's not money, but it's time.
Yes.
What about volunteers? How can someone volunteer?
We can always use volunteers, and again, we're spreading into all these different counties in Kentucky and Indiana. So we need volunteers everywhere. There's not enough volunteers. And you can volunteer to do paperwork. You can do volunteer work to work at a booth at a fair. You can volunteer to take supplies to schools. We actually deliver individually wrapped snacks to schools as well, because a lot of these kids don't have snacks when they get to school. And so the counselors or the teachers end up having to buy those out of their own pocket. And we know they don't get paid as much as they should. So we try to help them so they don't have to buy these things. So you can deliver to schools, you can deliver to homes, you can pick up the donation bins at different businesses. There's all kinds of ways to volunteer your time.
Awesome. Tracy, would you tell them that phone number one more time?
Yes, 812-595-0571.
Awesome. Well, I want to once again thank you for joining me, for educating me on what a great ministry, what a great organization you have here with Tracy Patton Ministries and the Reach Food Program. So anyway, without saying anything that is going to choke me up and make me cry, I'm going to thank you all for listening and spending a few minutes of your morning with us. I do also want to say that there are home mortgages out there for low-income families. Now, yes, there's sometimes some pretty difficult criteria that you have to meet, but like Tracy says, reach for more. I believe that we are all capable of reaching out to one another and reaching for ourselves to become better. And so if there's any way that Mary Wallace with Schuler Bauer Real Estate Services can connect you with a mortgage lender that works with low-income home mortgages, I would love to help you out. And you can call me at 812-416-0527, or once again, call Tracy at
812-595-0571.
You all have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.